it feels like it's controllable. You know, it's tough, you know, in a world where I've accomplished a lot of great things and I'm in a very happy place, like it makes me want to bring other values to other people, right? And so if I'm giving advice, if I'm putting out content, if I want something good to happen, if I'm so selfish that I want somebody to email me and say I've changed their life, I want to give them practical advice. And hustle's the only thing. I can't tell people become more talented. Like you're not, you know, like, hey, become smart. Like smarter was good. That was good advice, but that's not good advice anymore because information's at our hand. Like memorizing information is not good advice anymore. Right. Like, what do you want to know? Here it is.
Yeah.
Like, right? So that's not good. What is controllable? You know, work 3 hours more a day. Like, now work 3 hours more a day if you're sitting at home and complaining. If you're not happy with your life, if you're pumped, if you make $1 million a year or $50,000 a year, if you see your kids every day, if you never see your kids, if you go to tons of ball games, if you've never watched sports, however you roll, if you're pumped, if you're watching right now and you're pumped, God, mazel tov, like I'm so happy.
Yeah, leave it as is.
Yay!
Yeah.
If you sit at home right now and you're watching this on a small screen on your laptop and you're not pumped, the one thing that I know everybody can do is watch a little less of House of Cards, is go to the bar a couple less times with their buddies, it's play a couple less games on your, don't play fucking Candy Crush. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse in the behind, but you know, that is why I'm obsessed with hustle, because it's the one variable that everybody can control that can change the outcome of their lives. If you're putting on an entrepreneurial jersey, it's kind of like UFC. Like nobody's gonna go undefeated, right? Like
you should expect the loss.
Look, we've become friendly through the years. Yeah. Like there's ups and downs and like, you know, like it's just, you lose along with winning. Look, I'm also trying to talk about it a little bit more because I'm such an optimist that like everything out of my mouth is like, yeah, like, I mean, I don't have a gear to complain about my losses. I'm not gonna make content that, you know, has me crying. Yeah. And so I just know that being an entrepreneur means that, I mean, right now I'm in the midst of putting together a big deal. In the not executing it properly in the last 12 months, I've lost $1 million. Now, you know, listen, I've done well, but that's not easy for me. Like, that's not, I'm not, you know, I'm talking about it because I'm feeling a bigger responsibility because more people are paying attention. Okay. And I want to make sure that people see the whole picture. It's why I'm focused on Snapchat. It's why I'm doing daily V at scale now. Yeah. Like, I'm showing people, like, my hustle is different than your hustle. Like, I don't have 20 minutes. There is no 10 minutes today that I'm going to watch a funny YouTube video that my buddy sent me. Yeah. That doesn't exist. And so I also want to talk about losing. Like, losing's part of the equation. Every entrepreneur loses. Now for me, I like micro losses. Thank God that losing that kind of money is now a micro loss. I'm not out of business. Yeah. So I'm taking micro losses to make sure I don't have a macro loss. There are people in my sphere that interact with me on social that I'm 100% sure will never win. I'm being dead serious. And It's a tough thing to say, and I don't like to say what I just said, but they will perpetually lose in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then die. It's a lack of self-awareness. Okay. It's not lack of talent. It's a lack of self-awareness. Okay. It's not lack of talent. It's a lack of self-awareness. Okay. It's not lack of talent. We all have talents. We all have 2 or 3 things, 4 things that we're better at than the other things we're good at. Now, your best thing that you're best at, you might actually just be average in the whole world at. But if it's your best thing, it's the thing you need to do, because being average is a hell of a lot better than being below average. Right. Got it? Okay. Self-awareness is the ultimate in our society right now, and we're living through a time right now where a lot of kids are being sold to become entrepreneurs when they're not. We're living in a time where people are being told to become famous and extroverts and put out content, and they're not. And as somebody who's living that life, I want people to understand, like, look, you have to be built for it. In the same way that I wasn't built to be a scholar, and even though I grew up in the 80s and 90s when being a good student was the game, I fought against it because I was self-aware. Now we have the reverse. There's so many great students that can go and become amazing consultants, make $500,000 a year, have a beach house, marry attractive people, and have a great life, but they're gonna go and become startup founders and spend 6 years failing, going into depression, not winning. It's a real thing. Yeah. Self-awareness.